Yo, what is going on, guys? We're here talking about the best NBA rookie on each NBA team. So I want to hear down below before we start today's video, in your opinion, who is the best rookie in the NBA so far? I know a lot of people are going to say Tyrese Halliburton, and I want to hear other people's opinions. So let's get into today's video. I know Onyeka Okongwu just played his first game after missing the first 10 games of the season with a foot injury, but the Atlanta Hawks rookie big man Onyeka Okongwu made his NBA debut against the Utah Jazz, which he played only 14 minutes off the bench for the Hawks, scoring 4 points on 2 for 6 shooting while grabbing 5 boards, which 3 of those were offensive, and he dished out 2 assists and got a steal. Look, we haven't seen much of him, but I can tell you, he was one of my favorite players coming into this year's draft, and I'm already expecting him to be one of the best two-way centers in the entire league in 3 years' time. Give him about 2 years to develop, and in his third season, this man will break out and be a beast. Peyton Pritchard, aka P-Rabbit, has been the X factor for the Boston Celtics. So far in 16 games, he's averaged 9.3 points and 3.1 assists. And he was the 26th overall pick. A lot of people didn't even expect him to be a first-round pick, or might not even thought that he would have been drafted. But right now, his intensity is why his teammates and Coach Brad Stevens have loved this rookie. Look, earlier this year, he had a career-high 23 points against the Toronto Raptors, and Brad Stevens has had a track record of not playing rookies early in the season, but this shows how much confidence Pritchard has had from the front office and the coaching staff, and how they're willing to lean on him while Kemba Walker was working his way back to the court. Reggie Perry was recently thrown into the fire after the James Harden trade, with his two-way contract being converted to a full-time contract. He hasn't disappointed. Against the Knicks, he dropped 11 points, had a few offensive rebounds, and that's something he's shown. He can keep up with some of the slower power forwards, and he can keep up with pretty much every center, it seems like, except the dominant ones, with an ability to find offensive rebounds and put putbacks, and be able to give some spacing on the floor with the willingness to occasionally shoot the spot-up three-pointer. Reggie Perry looks like a good player for the Brooklyn Nets. Depending on who you ask, LaMelo Ball is the most overrated or the most hated NBA rookie in the league. And you know what? LaMelo Ball has been impressing. He has been a solid teammate. He has been a guy who's been, uplifting his team's confidence and having the swagger to raise his teammates' ability. He has been making his teammates play better. He's been showing he has elite passing ability right out the gate, and his three-point shot isn't as terrible as we once thought. He's shooting 33%, and at one point he was shooting 40% to start the year. So LaMelo Ball, we see you. Patrick Williams was nonetheless a surprising pick by the Chicago Bulls, and he has impressed so far, showing that he has the capability of becoming one of the best two-way players in the NBA, averaging about a block and a steal a game to go with about 4 rebounds and shooting 50% from 3 so far this year. And he has shown to be a very good all-around player who could be similar to Paul George, not like in their play style, but being a premier defensive player and an offensive player in this league. Isaac Okoro dazzled in the preseason, thinking that he was the next coming of Andrew Iguodala, but he has fallen from grace in the three-point department. But besides that, he has shown he is the best defender in his draft class, the quintessential all positions, can guard all 5 positions, and some nights he shows us against the Grizzlies where he goes 2 for 3 from three-point, and you're like, man, this guy, just give it a season or two, he is going to be one of the best two-way players in the entire NBA, and very strong resemblance to Andre Iguodala, being where he can throw it down with authority or he can hit the three-pointer occasionally. Josh Green has the potential to be a great 3-and-D player for the Dallas Mavericks, but right now, he's the better rookie out of him and Tyrell Terry, but it's not by much. He has yet to hit a three-point shot this year, with attempting only 5 of them, but he's shown in other ways he can contribute by either getting an easy two-pointer or getting some rebounds or passing the ball to set up his teammates to score. Josh Green will develop into a very fundamentally sound player due to the fact that what we're seeing here, he's setting himself up for success in the long run. Facundo Campazzo has a small, special place in my heart. First off, my cousin's name is Facundo, so same name as him, and my mother's from Argentina, so I always love an Argentine basketball player. He's only playing like 12 minutes a night, but he brings intensity and, just brings the team good play for a solid 12-15 minutes, and I really see him becoming a really good player for either the Nuggets during the playoffs, or if they end up sending him somewhere, I could see him being a very good point guard, backup point guard for a contending team. With Kelly Hayes out for the season, it seems like Isaiah Stewart is the best center on the Detroit Pistons. Man, this guy looks like he could be a double-double machine one day. And he isn't playing a lot of minutes. Like, he'll play 19 minutes and grab 11 boards like he did on the first game against the Heat. And he shows some rim protection, the ability to stay up with some of the slower power forwards, and the ability to stay with pretty much every NBA center. I really like this guy. He has a lot of heart and a really strong motor that never stops. James Wiseman has all the physical tools to become one of the most dominant centers in the league on both sides of the court. And I really hope he does. He's a perfect fit for the long-term future of the Golden State Warriors, and he continues to show me more and more things that I love to watch about him every single time I see him play. So I really do think he might have been the best thing to happen for the Golden State Warriors since Kevin Durant. Jae'Sean Tate is one of my favorite rookies in this year's class, because some people might argue he's not technically a rookie, but man, he is. His first time ever playing the NBA, coming from the NBL, and he has shown just the ability to be a good rebounder, finding offensive boards. I know it's only 4.5 and he's averaging 8.5 points, but he's just a really good hustle player who's scrappy and high energy, and he's going to give you stats that aren't really going to show up on the stat sheet, but it's just all the dirty work no one wants to do. Really fun guy to watch. Cassius Stanley was one of my favorite players in this year's NBA draft, and he's the only rookie on the Indiana Pacers, so he hasn't shown much. He shot 3 3-pointers, actually just 2 of them, and he's made 1, so he's 50%. I think he could be a pretty good 3-and-D player for the Pacers in a few years. He's probably not going to get much time this year, but hey, just keep your eye out for him. He's going to be good. Daniel Oturu, coming out of college, had the potential to be a poor man's Joel Embiid. And for the Los Angeles Clippers, he's their only rookie, but he has been playing pretty decent. And he's shown the ability to be a good rebounder, a guy who'll deflect passes, contest shots, and has the chance of being one of the most fundamentally sound players and being a very good impact player for them, and a cheap option once Zubac and their center position needs change. Coming out of school, I knew Xavier Tillman was going to be good. Man, and he has shown it. Look, he has averaged the past 2 games 29 and 28 minutes and shown that he's all around great. He's quick enough to stay with most power forwards and strong enough to stay with centers. And he can get you about 6 boards a game, get you a bunch of steals, and clog up passing lanes. And he's a guy who's all around one of the most fundamentally sound. And it's because of his 4 years at Michigan State that he crafted and made his fundamentals and his skills into what they are right now. Precious Achiuwa has the potential to be one of the best players at his position, and also being the perfect fit next to Bam Adebayo, being a guy who has about a 7-foot wingspan, the willingness to shoot 3-pointers, which he showed in college. He hasn't shot a 3-pointer since entering the NBA, but he's a guy who can average a double-double, hopefully can stretch the floor, and he can block shots, rim protect, disrupt passing lanes, and he's a guy who plays with one of the best motors I've ever seen. This guy is interesting. Sam Merrill, never heard of him until I made this video. Hasn't really played much, but it's been seven games he's appeared in, and he shot a few 3-pointers, and he's shooting 66%. Looks like it's another find for the Milwaukee Bucks, if I'm going to be honest. I didn't think I'd be a believer, but Anthony Edwards is slowly convincing me. I just love his power, his strength when he goes to the rim. And I know he needs to work on his shooting, but give him a few years, he could be a really good offensive player who hopefully can be a plus defender in the NBA, in my opinion. Someone give me an actual valid reason why Emmanuel Quickley isn't starting. I've said this multiple times that he should be starting. He's such high energy. He's probably the best point guard on the Knicks besides Elfrid Payton. And besides that, I grew up watching him play 20 minutes away. Went to John Carroll in Bel Air, Maryland. I grew up in Phoenix, Maryland. So a little note there. Alexei Pokusevski is my favorite player in the NBA. He's going to exceed everybody's expectations. He is a guy who's 7'1", who plays like a guard, and he's going to revolutionize basketball. Wait till year 2 or 3 for him to explode once he ups to 220 pounds. With Markelle Fultz out for the season, Cole Anthony is the starting point guard for the Orlando Magic, and his only thing that you could say is bad is he's still that inefficient shot chucker. He actually has the worst true shooting out of all point guards that are starting so far. So a little tidbit right there. Though I think he's going to grow and be a good starting point guard, that like a very bottom of the scale or a very really good backup point guard. Tyrese Maxey is the most electric rookie in the NBA. There's a reason why the Sixers wouldn't trade him or put him in a package to get James Harden. Also, Tyrese Maxey's like Rondo, where they're short, but they have like 7-foot wingspans. He's 6'3" with like a 7-foot wingspan. Insane. Gonna be one of the best two-way players in the NBA soon to come. We haven't seen much of Jalen Smith, but he's way better than Tyshawn Alexander from what we've seen. So that's the jury's out on him. CJ Ellaby looks like he could be a plus defender while providing an offensive game, getting some fouls and three-point shots, but nothing much. Just seems like he could be a role player. Tyrese Halliburton is going to win Rookie of the Year. I don't care what anybody says. He has been phenomenal. I wish he slipped to the San Antonio Spurs. That would have been really cool, but he's shooting 51% from the floor and 3 every night. He looks good. He went on a 5-game stretch averaging 12-plus points. So good. Devin Vassell is my favorite player in this draft class. He is an athletic Klay Thompson, and he's going to be one of the best, if not the best, 3-and-D player in the entire league. See him averaging 18 and 2.5 steals per game for his career. As a student at the University of Kansas and got to see Doak play, nobody has a motor as strong as Doak, and nobody's going to work harder than Doak. He's going to be a great NBA player, I'm telling you guys right now. During the pre-draft process, I was one of the few people hyping up Malachi Flynn. He had a strong preseason, and he's gone a little quiet during the regular season because of lack of playing time. But I feel like as more time progresses, Malachi Flynn will get more time to play, especially once he hones his defensive skills. Scott Brooks is the worst coach in the NBA. Stop making Denny Avita just be a spot-up shooter, just having him stand in the corner. He's a secondary playmaker. He has skill. He could be the next coming Hito Turkoglu. Use him freaking correctly. That's all from me guys today. Sorry for speeding it up at the end. I'm trying to go get drunk at the bar. So, yep. Hope you guys have a great one. Enjoy, like, comment, subscribe. As always, guys, I hope you guys have a great one because I know I will. Till next, guys. Peace out.